Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. As you can see from the title, today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance from the house of by Kilian. It is none other than Cruel Intentions. Here is the box. Now, it comes in a lot of the Kilians. If you buy them at their standard rate, they come in this nice little kind of coffin that you have. I've often said many times, and I'm not sure actually if I've said it on camera, but I think the by Kilian presentations are the best in the business. They're beautiful bottles, and even stuff that I don't like, you look at it, you want to go ahead and get it just because it's so aesthetically pleasing, at least from a presentation standpoint, that you go for it. This, as you can see, it comes in this black coffin. It's got the K for Kilian on the top of it. It's got kind of designs around on it. It also has a key here. I put the key somewhere in storage just because I don't really care. But when you open it up, it's got this. It sits nicely in this. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking out the sun, but it sits nicely in this velvety kind of enclosure of the bottle, and it just kind of rests there. It's pretty good. So when you take it out, you're left with the bottle, and for all intents and purposes, I'm going to actually keep it right here. So you're left with the bottle. The bottle looks like a very awesome presentation, by the way. It's got, the metal plaque kind of on the front that says Cruel Intentions. It says by Kilian, and it says Tempt Me right on the front of it. You look on the sides, and it's designed basically extremely well. And you kind of look through, you can see the juice that kind of goes in there. It's got the K for Kilian. Other than that, I absolutely love, and I still think that these are the best presentations in the business. Okay? So, this is 50 milliliters right here, and this is actually the biggest size that you can quote-unquote get, at least for, you can buy flacons, I believe, for it, but still, this is the standard size that you can get. This, along with that presentation, is going to run you $245. Now, what a lot of people do, and what you'll see with a lot of my other Kilians that you notice, is that I bought the travel spray. The travel spray, the travel spray is going to run you about $155, and it's going to give you 30 milliliters of it. So you're not going to get quite as much, but you're going to get a nice little presentation with the travel spray, items that come with it. You can also buy a strict refill, which is basically the bottle and just the juice. Same thing, 50 milliliters for $145. So if you really truly only care about the juice, don't care about the presentation, you can get this for 145 basically for 50 milliliters. You get the same thing. You're basically paying an extra 100 for the presentation coming with the coffin and everything like this, right? So that's why if you look back, you'll kind of see that with my other Kilians, I got one just for the sake of presentation, and the other ones I just went for the travel spray just because, yeah, I don't really need anything of it, and I can go ahead and get the refills for it as well too. Okay, so the other thing, speaking of refills, the cool thing about these is if you look at this actually twists off. And it twists off, like I said, with the refills because they allow you to refill it with much cheaper. So if you run out, you can go ahead and buy a refill for much cheaper and just twist it off and, dump the juice in there. Or if you wanted to, you could, I guess, wash it out and put something else in there if you wanted to. But either way, I absolutely love the presentation and love the way that by Kilian has their bottles set up. Fantastic. Can't say enough about it. So, let's get on to the actual scent itself. Let's start with the notes. The notes consist of, at our top, orange flower, bergamot, rose, and violet. For our mid, we have gaiac wood, agar wood, which is oud, and papyrus. And for our base, we have vetiver, musk, sandalwood, styrax, vanille, and castoreum. Alright, so this fragrance was released in the year 2007. The notes that you saw, there are a couple interesting notes in it, and I believe that it actually adds a nice little twist to it. But the castoreum, I believe, is beaver musk. Other than that, it's got rose in it, it's got a heavy bunch of woods in it, and it also has a good amount of florals in it. So when you smell this scent, what do you get? To start off, if you look on it, the most frequent fragrance that this is actually compared to is Shalimar. And once I smelled it, I kind of thought, yeah, it actually kind of does remind me of Shalimar, but it's its own fragrance in its own right. What you get when you smell it, right off the top of the bat, is you get a very smoky rose type scent. Maybe smoky rose, floral, got a little bit of violet in there type of a scent to it. Very interesting. As it kind of dries down, you get a little bit more of the woods. The vetiver comes into play. The sandalwood comes into play. I don't really get that much oud. I think I can kind of pick it out, but I wouldn't say that it's really an oud heavy fragrance. But, you know, as that kind of comes in, a little bit of the vanilla kind of adds to the little bit of sweetness to the scent. But it overall, what it turns into is, it turns into a very green, woody type of a scent that has, you know, floral notes, especially the rose kind of backing it up. And as it dries down, especially, give this fragrance a chance. It's one of the fragrances that, as it stays on your skin for longer, it really just envelops your skin and becomes extremely beautiful. This is one of the scents that it still is, at this point, actually, it's my second favorite. I was going to say it's my favorite from the Kilian line, but I think Straight to Heaven is actually my favorite and has supplanted this one. But this one, it still is very much high on my like list. You've seen it on a bunch of, if you follow my channel, you've seen it on a bunch of my top 10 lists, whether it be signature scents, whether it be top fall scents. It's been there, and it's been there for a reason, because I absolutely love it for those. Now, on your skin, it just really begins to develop, and on my skin especially, it turns into this beautiful, woody. The green notes don't overtake it, but they kind of remain in the background. So it's almost kind of smells like you're smelling a, and I know this might not sound appeasing, but it smells like you're smelling a rotting piece of wood that has, you know, greenness kind of growing on it, and at the same time you've got kind of roses kind of bringing up the background for it. That's really what I get from this scent, and it just turns more beautiful and just really envelops with your skin chemistry as time goes on, right? So spray wise, I generally give about 3 sprays for this fragrance. 3 sprays, 1 to the chest. I give 1 here, 1 here, and I'm good. As far as occasion goes, I personally, you can wear it casually. I think it's a really nice date fragrance, though. I think it's a nice fragrance you can wear at a night out. You know, you're dressed up pretty nicely, and you know, you're ready to go out and impress. Cruel Intentions, I think, is one that you can definitely wear, because it's not too, which brings me to the actual performance of the fragrance. It's 9+ hours, but on the other hand, it's going to last a couple more hours after that, just a little bit closer to your skin. But more importantly, it has just the right amount of projection for people to smell you, but it's not going to reach out to the other room and slap somebody on the across the face. It's going to be a little bit closer to you, but people are still going to smell you. It's going to leave a semi-decent scent trail or sillage trail, and it's not going to really hang around in the air for too long. Just enough to get the job done. And for performance-wise, I think it's actually perfect on the cusp for what I'm looking for in a fragrance. Age group, I usually say age group wise, you know, 18+ for this one. It does have a little bit more of a mature vibe to it, so I say 18+. As with all fragrances, you know, feel free to wear it whenever the heck you want. Personally, season wise, I wear it in the fall mainly, but this is definitely something that you can wear year round. In fact, I just pulled it out today because it's a little bit on the cooler side for spring, and wanted to go ahead and, you know, wear this one. So this is actually going to be coupling as my scent of the day today as well, right? So, with all fragrances, I take them out and have people smell them in Times Square, have 100 people smell it, and get 100 people's opinions. I try and divide it evenly between men and women and see what they said about it. There were 62 people who liked it. Of the people who liked it, they said that it was mature, they said that it was exotic, they said that it was sexy. One even said that it was like a manly rose, basically. She loved rose, and she absolutely loved it. There were 23 people who disliked it. Of the 23 people who disliked it, said that it was too musky. They said that it was weird. Those were the 2 main, you know, fragrances or items that they said. And some of the guys said that it was a little bit too floral for their taste. So something that you want to watch out for. It could be the orange blossom that they're picking up. I've become a little bit more tolerant towards orange blossom as the years go on. So maybe I have a little bit more of a bias towards that and not really smelling it and not really caring. But it is there, right? And 15 people thought that it was neutral. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, despite the fact that I do really like it a lot, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10 because it's not one that I consider more of a safe fragrance, and I would consider it's definitely something, because it does have a little bit of an animalistic quality to it, and I suspect that it's the castoreum, the beaver note, but it has a raw, I guess you could say, a raw sexuality to it. And because of that, I don't think that, you know, it jumps up into the upper echelons of the greatest fragrances or anything like that. But it's still a fragrance that I absolutely love. So for that reason, I give this fragrance an 8 out of 10. It gets an 8 out of 10. It's not exactly up there with the very best, but at the same time, it's not a bad fragrance. I personally love it. but it still has some qualities that I think can be off-putting, and for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Okay? So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. And there's also the price tag, sorry. But yes, the price tag, it can get a little bit expensive. Yeah. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, leave me a note, send me a message, do whatever you got to do. Thank you, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.